What is up, guys? We are live here with our first ever fully non-proxied out actual real cards Lorcana deck profile. I can't tell you how happy I am to finally have or say those words, because we actually have Lorcana cards, and the day's here. Lorcana is now going to be released to the masses, and with that we wanted to hit you with one of the decks that we, during the whole proxy phase, have been testing out and showing a lot of success. Myself as a control player, I've always played these control strategies, so I generically just shifted over to Steel and Amethyst, which is the gray and the purple cards, for those that are a little bit new to the whole Lorcana card game. If you're looking to play Lorcana, we actually just posted a how to play video right here. You can actually check it out, and it's a really simple game, really fun game, and hopefully you don't have too many struggles finding the products yourself. But if you do need assistance with finding the cards, of course, always use our TCG Player affiliate link in the description down below and up on the screen. You can actually buy a lot of the singles for a lot cheaper than getting the sealed product. If you have a tough time finding the sealed product, we definitely always advise buying the singles wherever you can. And if you're local to proplaygames, we'll definitely have binders and tournaments for all the card games that you need. So without further ado, let's get into our spicy Steel Amethyst control deck profile. All right, guys, so let's start off the deck from low to high. So we're going to start off with 4 Captain Hooks. Of course, Captain Hook is like a mainstay in pretty much any Steel deck, I believe. The Challenger 2 allows it to be a 3/2 on offense, which is really good dealing with like Cheshire Cats and other like weird 3-power cards in the format. So you can trade your 1 into their 3 inked dude or things like that. It's also inkable. The card's great. There's also a Captain Hook that you can put over him. We don't play it, but like that's probably more of a reason for you to play Captain Hook if you are playing Steel. The next card, of course, what's Captain Hook without Fire the Cannons? And Fire the Cannons is definitely one of the best actions, I think, in the game right now. It's not a song, so you can't sing it, but for the cost of 1, I think, I think it's really well statted. Obviously, it can't be any cheaper. It deals 2 damage to chosen character. Super duper powerful, and we are playing the Captain Hook that gets back the Fire the Cannons, so it just makes that card just much more powerful. And then we play a 2/2 split. I know that looks weird, but they're essentially the same card. They're both 1-costed, inkable cards that are just 2/2s, and they're just good for luring, they're good for challenging, and they're just, paired with the Captain Hook, you have 8 1-drops that you want to open up with, and then obviously your Fire the Cannons that you can use to get your opponent off tempo if they end up starting with those over you. Then we play 2 Beastmare. We're only playing 2 of this because we are pairing with the color purple, and purple does have a lot of good card draw. I think if we were playing like Steel Blue or Steel Sapphire, then maybe we want to up this number, but because we have a lot of good draw in purple, and this specific version of Steel does not really want to go without a hand, we are playing Beastmare because it is inkable, so early you can ink it, and late game it'll be really clutch for you. Then we're playing 2 Doctor, and he's very good because he can be, we're actually playing a split, sorry, it's easier to explain in splits, but both of these are our 2-drops of choice, and one is a challenger, so it's 2/4 on offense. The other one is a challenger as well, but it's a 2/3 or 3/3 on offense. So the 3/3, like I mentioned with the Captain Hook, sometimes is a sweet spot for challenging and banishing 3 toughness opposing units, and the Doctor just has a little bit more lifespan, so the 4 can help him survivability wise, kind of like stick on board a little bit more. But he's been really good so far as well too, so I don't really super prefer one over the other, but they're just needed there to fill that 2-drop gap. Then we play 4 Maleficents. I think that's pretty much a cut and dry staple in every Amethyst purple deck. So yeah, it's just extremely good. Draws you a card, does what it needs to do. If you see multiple of them, I usually end up running away with the game pretty fast. And then of course, what's Maleficent 3-drop without the almost like the counterpart Friends on the other side, because this card, same thing, 3 cost, but this one draws you 2 cards. So the trade-off is that you get a body with 1 lore for Maleficent. Fun fact also is that Maleficent can sing the Friends on the other side, since Friends on the other side is a 3 cost and Maleficent's a 3 cost. They both work very well in tangent, so once you get that draw off Maleficent, you can immediately scale that into a draw 2, which is really nice. Then we also play for Tinkerbell. We are playing the Tinkerbell, the larger Tinkerbell, the giant Tinkerbell. So, of course, we need to play this one. You typically don't use this effect, but I guess it can be useful because we are playing a high number of uninkables. So you can use this to filter those out and draw into inkables, or vice versa. You're late game and you need to find your uninkables, which are your bombs, and Tinkerbell can help you get there. Very well statted card too. Having 4 toughness is great, or willpower I think it's called. 4 smash. This card is just great. 3 damage on a chosen character, I think is definitely super powerful, and it really just trade your opponent's 3 costed characters, so you can trade your 3 ink for their 3 ink, so you don't lose a lot of tempo. It's good value, and you can combine it with a lot of ping effects that we do have in our deck, like a smash and a fire the cannons can clear 6 drops and things like that. And we played 2 plasma blasters for our 3 drops as well too. I'd love to play more of this card, but it's uninkable, and like I mentioned before, we do play a lot of uninkables, so this card's great, especially when you draw 2 of them or you land 2 of them, because now you can start paying 2 to start shooting damage all over the board and kind of spreading damage, so that when you get to your big swords play, or when you get to fire the cannons, your fire the cannons is essentially dealing 3 instead of 2, your smash is dealing 4 instead of 3, etc. So the card's really great, especially when you pair it with cards like Hans. Hans is a card that on quest can ping 1 damage on chosen characters, so you can go Plasma Blaster, Hans, fire the cannons, or XYZ, whatever combination you want to play. Also, he quests for 2, so it does help you catch up, because you are a control deck, you're usually falling behind on lore, so you really have to play this catch-up game after you start controlling their board and start clearing the resources. So Hans really lets you get there really fast, and like I said, the spreading the damage, I can't really emphasize that enough. Then for our 4 drops, we played 2 Zeus. He's also uninkable. I like him as a 2 drop because he just comes in and just hammers out a removal. This is kind of like your bigger removal spell. So your smash deals with your 3 costs. I want to see, you can see this as an uninkable 4 mana smash, because it just comes out, deals 4 damage to a unit. Sure, he's powerless on defense, so when your opponent attacks into him, he's not dealing any type of damage back, but he is a 2 lore creature. So if your opponent only has 1 unit on board, the Zeus takes it out, and then on your next turn you can quest with the Zeus to get that 2 lore back, and it's really powerful. He's also just rush, so a lot of the times with control decks, they just don't expect the rush 2 to come down, so this kind of catches them off guard. And like I said, you pair it with any of the ping damage that you have, and now instead of dealing 4, you're dealing 5, 6, 7, whatever. So Zeus has been really good, and I've been really happy with him at the 2 slot. 3 Captain Hook. This one's the captain of the Jolly Roger, and this one buys back the fire the cannons that we were talking about earlier, and that's why he's so powerful, because you can kind of see him as come down. You can see him as a 5 costed non-inkable character, where he comes down and deals 2 damage to a card. So it nets you a card. You don't need to use the fire the cannons immediately. Sometimes I just see myself playing it, buying back the fire the cannons, holding it until I get a good turn where I can clear 2 to 3 units, because I pair it with the plasma blaster or whatever, so be it. But yeah, Captain Hook is just great. The only thing that I wish is that he had 2 lore, but other than that, he's been great. It's just really, it feels really bad that he only has 1 lore. If he had 2 lore, I think I would definitely max him out, but like I said, uninkables are very dangerous, so you got to be careful. Then we play for Jafar. If you notice, this is a very challenger heavy deck, because we want to make sure that we don't lose to the aggro decks, especially the green decks, because they just have such high willpower, so you're able to kind of come down and just clear all their threats. Also, if you pair your challenger with a lot of the damage spread that you have in the deck, you're pretty much taking down any character whatsoever. There's no character that's beefy enough for you to not deal damage to, even though you have all this small little damage being spread around with the Hans and the Plasma Blaster and things like that. Jafar comes down as a 5/5 on offense, but he's also just a 2/5 on defense. So he's also very good because he's inkable, so a lot of the times I'm inking this guy, but I like having the just clean out to Cusco, clean out to these really annoying Mad Hatter and things like that, and he kind of just sticks around with that high willpower as well too. Then on to our 5 drops, we play 2 Queen. Really like Queen. I think I only see her as a 2/of for now. I like this over the Magic Mirror, because the Magic Mirror is uninkable. So queen is like my little like draw well for card advantage when it gets to late game, and she's been really good. Her ability to exert herself to draw a card is super good, and she has really good stat lines to the point where if you do exert her to draw a card, they're not going to immediately kill her. They have to pretty much throw 2 units into her in order to get her out of the field. Then we start getting to the top end. This is still in the 5 drops, but then, you know, but this card's great. Grab Your Sword is one of my favorite cards. It just spreads damage on your opponent's creatures, deals 2 to all of them. This also gets around ward, so if your opponent's playing like cards like Cusco and other items that, you know, can't be chosen, this gets around it because it just deals 2 across the board. And like I said, you combine it with, you know, your Plasma Blaster to knock them out, and your Hans, and it's really good time. You can also combine this with Smash, combine it with, you know, everything really. And then our last card is Tinkerbell. We're playing Tinkerbell because she can go over, obviously, the 3-cost Tinkerbell. This one also spreads damage, so if you combine Grab Your Sword with Tinkerbell, that's 3 damage to the entire board. You can sing the Grab Your Sword as well too, because it is a song. So you can go Tinkerbell next turn, or you can have Tinkerbell out on board 3 cost, then you can go shift into this Tinkerbell, deal 1 damage to everything, then tap this Tinkerbell to Grab Your Sword, and then, or you can just like the turn that you play Tinkerbell, or the turn that you shift Tinkerbell, because she's not being played, she's just being like, you're evolving her in a sense, right? She can kind of come out, immediately deal that damage, and then attack, and you can read her as a 5/5 now, right? Because she's technically coming down, dealing a damage, and then attacking. And then when she kills a unit or banishes a unit in combat, then she can go ahead and ping something else for 2. So really powerful card. I've been really impressed by it. I wasn't playing it in my initial build, and then after playing it a little bit and giving it a chance, I've really come to like this card. Also, the 2 lore is huge, very good for getting back into the game. So she usually comes down, clears a couple units, and then at that point she's done her job, and she's usually the last one on board, and then she can go ahead and start running away for the game, start playing some catch up with the 2 lore. So very powerful card. So that's pretty much the deck, guys. Like I said, we've been testing it quite extensively against some of the top decks, and we've been seeing a lot of success with it, but obviously the meta is not defined yet, so we're not sure exactly how things end up evolving. But what we love about the deck is that you can change a lot of different aspects of it, and a lot of different colors can go various different ways, so you can actually make your changes as you see fit or according to your local meta. And of course, make sure you guys check out our Lorcana tour coming very soon. pbgeventmanagement.com. You'll be able to see 3 different stops, 2 chapter 1 stops, and 1 chapter 2 stop, so you can actually play with set 2 at that last tour. And that's pretty much what we have planned for 2023. Stay tuned for what we have in 2024, because it's going to be very exciting as we bring organized play to North America at different stops. If you want to see us in any particular city or state, please comment down below and let us know so we can try to make those accommodations real. So thank you guys again for watching. Till next time.